That night, the world did not sleep peacefully. In the deep, silent expanse where dreams are woven, something felt wrong. The delicate threads of slumber trembled. Stars in the distant sky flickered with a quiet worry, and an unseen balance had begun to slip. Far below, in a small, quiet room in a small, quiet town, a boy named Arin suddenly woke up. His eyes snapped open, not from a nightmare, but from a stillness so profound it felt like a sound. A calm, resonant voice echoed through the darkness, a voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "It's time for your first mission." Arin sat bolt upright, his heart pounding against his ribs like a trapped bird. He scanned the familiar shadows of his room, the outline of his desk, the poster on his wall, the clothes draped over his chair. Everything was as it should be. Yet the air itself felt different, charged with an ancient energy. "What mission?" he whispered, his voice barely a breath. In front of him, the air began to shimmer, like heat rising from summer asphalt. The shimmering intensified, coalescing into a solid form. An ancient book, bound in dark leather with silver clasps, appeared, floating gently a few feet from his bed. On its cover, embossed in glowing, ethereal script, were the words, "The Book of Dream Guardian." Hesitantly, Arin reached out. The moment his fingers brushed against the cool, smooth leather, the world dissolved. His room, his bed, the very concept of walls and a ceiling, all faded away into a soft, white light. When the light subsided, he found himself standing in a world unlike any he had ever imagined. The sky above was a swirling canvas of soft lavender and deep indigo, painted with constellations he didn't recognize. The ground beneath his feet wasn't solid ground at all, but a sea of thick, drifting clouds that held his weight as if it were nothing. It was a place between waking and sleeping, the very heart of the dreamscape. A tall figure in a long, deep blue cloak emerged from the swirling mists, their face hidden within the shadows of their hood. They glided towards him, their movements silent and graceful. "You are now a dream guardian," the figure said, their voice the same calm, resonant tone he had heard in his room. "And your first mission has already begun," the guardian explained the crisis. A dream belonging to a frightened child back on Earth was breaking apart. It was a delicate thing, and its edges were fraying, threatening to unravel completely. If the dream shattered, the fear fueling its collapse would coalesce, transforming into a nightmare too powerful to contain, a shadow that could linger long after the child woke up. The guardian held out a hand, and in their palm materialized a small, ornate hourglass. The sand inside glowed with a soft, silver light. "This is a shard of the dream's own time," the guardian explained. "When the sand runs out, your time to help is over. The dream will be lost." Arin took the hourglass. It was warm to the touch. He nodded, a newfound resolve settling in his chest. "What do I do?" The guardian pointed towards a shimmering tear in the cloudy landscape. "Step through. But remember the first and most important rule of the guardians. Do not fight fear. Understand it?" With a deep breath, Arin stepped forward and plunged through the tear in reality. He wasn't falling, but rather drifting downwards, like a leaf on the wind. He landed softly in a world drained of all vibrancy. A colorless city stretched out before him, its towering buildings rendered in 1,000 shades of gray. The sky was a heavy, oppressive lid of bruised charcoal, pressing down on the silent streets. There was no wind, no sound, no life. In the very center of a desolate plaza, a small child sat alone, their knees pulled up to their chest, hiding their face in their arms. Behind the child, a shadow writhed and pulsed. It was vast and formless, growing larger and darker with every silent, shuddering breath the child took. This was the fear. Arin walked towards them, the glowing hourglass in his hand, feeling heavier with each step. He could feel the oppressive aura of the shadow, a cold dread that tried to seep into his bones. He could fight it, he thought. He could try to blast it away with some unknown power. But the guardian's words echoed in his mind. Do not fight fear. Understand it. So instead of drawing a weapon he didn't have, he sat down on the cold, gray pavement beside the child. He didn't touch them, didn't startle them. He just sat, sharing the silence for a moment. Then he spoke, his voice soft and gentle. What are you afraid of? For a long moment, there was no response. The great shadow behind the child seemed to tremble, as if surprised by the question. Then the child slowly looked up. Their face was smudged with tears, their eyes wide and lost. I'm afraid of being alone, they whispered, their voice barely audible. The shadow shuddered violently at the confession, its form wavering. The fear had been given a name. Arin reached into his pocket, though he didn't know why. His fingers closed around something small and warm. He pulled it out. It was a tiny captured piece of starlight, a mocha of pure, gentle light he didn't know he possessed. He held it out and placed it gently into the child's small, cupped hands. You're not alone, Arin said, his voice full of a certainty he didn't know he had. You're never truly alone, not as long as there is someone, somewhere, who dreams of you. As the child stared at the light in their hands, a miraculous change began. The tiny mote of light pulsed, and with each pulse, color bled back into the world. The gray pavement beneath them warmed into soft, mossy green grass. The drab buildings flushed with the colors of a vibrant sunrise, pinks, oranges, and golds. The oppressive sky lifted, turning a brilliant, hopeful blue. The child looked up, a smile dawning on their face. The great, terrifying shadow shrank, its darkness receding, until it transformed into a small, glowing songbird. The bird chirped once, a beautiful, clear note that echoed through the newly colored city, and then flew up into the bright blue sky, disappearing from sight. At that exact moment, the hourglass in Arin's hand flashed with a brilliant, final light. The sand had run its course. The mission was complete. Arin opened his eyes. He was back in his room, tucked safely in his bed. The morning sun was streaming through his window, painting his wall in warm stripes of light. It felt so real, but it must have been a dream then. He saw it. Lying on his bedside table, where it hadn't been before, was the ancient book. It was open to a new page, and on it, glowing script was slowly fading as the sun hit it. First mission completed, Dream Guardian. Prepare for what comes next. A slow smile spread across Arin's face. He wasn't afraid. He was ready. He closed his eyes, the warmth of the sun on his face, and fell back into a peaceful sleep, knowing that this was only the beginning of his journey. For sometimes, saving dreams doesn't require a sword or a shield. Sometimes, it begins with a single kind word. And true courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to face it gently, with understanding in your heart. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more adventures into the worlds of imagination. Until next time, sweet dreams.